been doing a lot of press for
Yes.
season 4, so that's been fun, and talked to nice people like yourself. But
He remembered that I'm nice.
I
Check in the
do.
mail, bro. I'll get
Absolutely.
you that.
Well, I cross the people off who aren't.
It's smart.
But locally, I mean, luckily it hasn't been that many, and we're just making a show about dinosaurs and kids running from them.
I mean, if you were going to make a show about, well, at least they're running away from the dinosaurs. Like if they're running towards the dinosaurs, that's going to be a completely different show. It'll be over in like one episode.
Yeah, completely different show. So, but this season we decided to up the ante and decided not to stop at just dinosaurs that have our heroes on the run and wondering what the heck is going on.
And on that, let's go ahead and start. So what's up, fandom? My name is Josh, and today we've got some really special guests. We've got Paul-Mikel Williams.
Hola, hi.
And we've got Scott Kreamer.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Oh, man. And we're going to be talking about season 4 of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. So, Scott, welcome back. We had you on for the launch, so like the premiere of Camp Cretaceous. So it's been a bit. It has.
How have you been?
Not bad. Good. I mean, it's all right.
Yeah, all right. Things have changed a lot in the world since
it's
we
been.
last started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the world is a completely different place.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And Paul, welcome.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. This is actually only my very second podcast. And I've been wanting to do a podcast for so long. So like just being here right now is just
awesome.
So fun and awesome for me.
Well, how about this? Whenever you want to come on a podcast, you just let me know. We'll bring you on. We'll talk about whatever you want. We do all kinds of stuff. So just let me know. We'll bring you back.
All right, for sure. We'll mark the dates and everything.
Oh yeah, we'll make it happen. So this is going to be a full spoiler-filled episode. So if you have not watched season 4 of Camp Cretaceous, it's on Netflix right now. Go on, check it out. Watch it. It's 11 episodes instead of 10. So you get an extra episode, guys. So happy there. Watch all 11 episodes. It's a really fun watch. But that said, spoilers from here on out. I can't believe you guys killed Ben. Like that was to me, it was very tragic. No, I'm just kidding. That's season 5. No.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you know?
I know people. So this let's kind of start off. So Scott, like we've talked to you before about kind of like the Jurassic, universe and everything. But Paul, how did you kind of like get into the Jurassic universe? Like was this like your first like foray into like the Jurassic realm, or had you been a fan of the films before?
It's crazy because when I was younger, I was like, I didn't originally watch the Jurassic World. I was a very timid kid when it came to movies that involved some form of fear, right? So literally anything that resembled horror or thriller, I just didn't watch it. I maybe watched like 5 minutes of Jurassic before I was like, okay, this is too scary. I'm gonna leave. And then basically,
well, here's the thing: if you thought the first 5 minutes of Jurassic World was scary, I don't know. Like, maybe do you not like airports? Like,
oh no! I was talking about Jurassic Park. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, of course. I generally have a distaste for airports. They're just completely and utterly tasteless. Anyway, but I got reintroduced to it on a different note when I watched Jurassic World when it came out, and I'm pretty sure I watched Jurassic World in theaters, and I was a much more matured person at the time, so I could actually watch it, and I just got immediately hooked on it, and it's really funny because I didn't even know who Chris Pratt was, and he was already just one of my favorite actors immediately as soon as I watched it, and then I started watching like Parks and Rec and all that stuff, so that was like my first little venture into it. And then I started getting really interested, and I started looking up like different dinosaurs and different species of dinosaurs and different families of dinosaurs and all of this stuff. And then I got the audition for this show, and I was like, I had a different reaction because it was different from the name that we currently have. So I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. This is dinosaurs. It's probably gonna be for kids, like probably gonna give dinosaurs cakes and stuff like that. Um, but then I started getting into it, and then I got a call back, and I went into the studio, and I was like, oh, this is for real. So, I mean, all in all, the series really just skyrocketed my love for dinosaurs as a whole even more. And it also skyrocketed my love for the franchise because it was just, I don't know, something about it, just the technicality of it all, and the I'm not going to say the simplicity, but the the complex simplicity, if you want to say that. It just really caught me in a rapture. I just loved it.
Scott, are we going to get feeding cakes to dinosaurs? Is that like going to be a new? Is that going to be a spin-off of Camp Cretaceous?
I'm not at liberty.
Oh,
You know, they
dang.
make you sign an ironclad non-disclosure agreement, so I can't get into that. The name Paul said, because at the beginning of the show it was all very secretive. So the code name for the show I can reveal now is Chomp. And so it was like, it was fun as people came in to read when they realized, oh, wait a minute, this this isn't Chump. This is Jurassic World. This is
Right.
a whole new thing.
Oh man. So let's kind of go into this season. So we last left our wonderful kids, our campers. They were on a boat. So we've left them on the boat. We are now we've left Isla Nublar. What island are we currently on? Are we allowed to say what island? Is this Sorna? Is this one of the other 5 deaths, or?
It is not. It is a new island.
Awesome.
It is a new private island. That if you've seen it now, you know that it is owned by Mantah Corp, who we've been talking about for 3 seasons now.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I saw a lot of speculation online that's going to be one of the 5 deaths, especially Sorna. And, you know, as far as kids running from dinosaurs on a jungle island, I think we've covered it. And we wanted to shake things up and put them in like new environments and have the audience along with the campers trying to figure out what the heck is going on as we make our way through the season.
All of the new dinosaurs and everything that we meet on this new island, are they all like brand new dinosaurs, or are they dinosaurs that, you know, came from either Sorna? Because I mean, we've got the Spinosaurus, we've got 2 new Rexes. Were they created just like on this island, or are they past dinosaurs that have been moved over to this new private island?
It's a little of both. I mean, in my mind, the T-Rexes are the T-Rex doe.
And the baby from Lost World?
It is not. It's a different baby. You know, there were more than just Buck and Junior on. And there was a hot second there when we were just going to make them Buck and Junior, but we ended up going a different way with it and making it a mother and daughter T-Rex. But they were from Sorna, but we also meet other dinosaurs who were created specifically by Mantah Corp.
Gotcha. And congrats, you guys got to bring the Dilophosaurus back. So we've not really had that since, I mean, we had what, like a hologram in Jurassic World?
Yeah.
But you guys got to bring it back. So now I had a little Twitter thing. We did like a Twitter space yesterday, so like a week ago when this comes out. But we had that, and we were talking on that. It was a nice non-spoilery thing. Okay. But we were talking about the Dilophosaurus because like the images have came out, so people were already speculating. So the Dilophosaurus, this is the first time that we've gotten a Dilophosaurus since Park, right? I don't think like they weren't in World, or I mean they weren't in Lost World or 3, were they?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
Don't quote me on it, but I don't think so. We were really excited to bring them back. Honestly, initially, if you remember back I get all the to season 3 when they're going through Kenji's penthouse and they come upon the Monolophosauruses. At that, originally that was going to be Dilophosaurus's, and then when we started looking at the dinosaurs and the space and what the story entailed, we decided to go to the Monolophosauruses instead.
Gotcha. So Paul, like with Darius, like how do you think he is coping with going from Nublar, like all of his stay, like they've been there for 6, almost 7 months, depending on, when we're, time. And now we've left Nublar. Now we're on a brand new island with new threats. So how do you think like Darius is coping there?
I can't help but laugh because I feel really bad for all of these children. I think that there's always something that Darius has to endure in these seasons because he's taken up the leading role of these 6 campers, and sometimes more than just those 6 campers, like in this season, we get to see I'm just going to be careful anyway. We get to see like a new person that is a doctor. And, and we also kind of see that he kind of takes the lead on, I'm going to say directing like the flow of traffic, even with people that he hasn't met. And I think that in the transition from season 3 to season 4, Darius, and we kind of saw this in a little bit of season 3's ending when he asked Kenji to pack up stuff, and he's kind of relinquishing his leading role to other campers, which is finally something that he hasn't been able to do because all of this time he's just been really trying to enjoy Jurassic World. And what's really been happening is he's been having to be like the commando leader of these 6 people and trying to keep these people alive while also trying to keep himself alive. And at such a young age, that's like nearly impossible on an island filled with dinosaurs. So I think that Darius in this season, like I said before, he relinquishes his leadership title to some other people so that he can kind of take a break. And you'll see that in season 4 too, because we see a lot of different matchups in season 4 with our characters also. And I think that Darius as a whole, it's probably going to take him a long time to get over this whole experience with dinosaurs. But I think that a cool aspect of Darius is that he's never turned his back on dinosaurs, despite all of the things that have happened to him. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, like I thought it was really interesting. Like we do have like a split in everything because we've got Darius and Cash doing their thing, and then we've got the rest of our campers and Dr. Turner, right?
Right.
Yeah, and Dr. Turner over here doing their thing. And I thought that was really a nice little bit because it seemed like Darius definitely needed like a bit of a break because he's been here and like basically like the leader of these kids for going on 7 months now. So yeah, him being able to like kind of not like still care about like the dinosaurs and still everything there, but he also gets to play a video game. So I mean, like that's not bad at all. So it was really nice to see him kind of like move out and some other campers kind of step up. I thought that was a really cool part this season.
The tricky part is he's playing a video game with a guy who may or may not feed him to dinosaurs.
Yeah, the whole time I'm like, maybe don't beat him at the video game. Maybe let him win because it's like, Which I thought, let's kind of talk about like Cash real quick. Like, fantastic bad guy character. Like, there's not a single moment that I was like, you know what? Maybe he's got redeeming qualities. It's like, no, it's just not there at all. And I love that. It's like, it kind of gives you somebody to, you know, to kind of root against. And it's also cool that, you know, we've got a bad guy that, you know, lived through a season. So like we can hate him into next season too.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
Yeah, normally our bad guys don't make it through, but you know, Cash is a real fun wild card character to write, and Haley Joel Osment is just man, what a great job. And, and he's the nicest guy in the world, but just relishes, you know, just when the artists or even the other actors heard his performance, it's like, yeah, just this character just universally he makes it very easy to hate him.
Like, I'm like, the fact that his phone is not cracked, like, to me, like the way he treats electronics, like the B.R.A.D.S and everything is like slamming stuff. I'm like, the fact his phone is not cracked, I'm like, man, he's got like a really good screen, like a really good protector on that thing. Cause dang.
I feel like Cash is like that type of person. Like, he cherishes his phone because that's where he gets like his income and how he contacts his boss. So I feel like he would be like, as we've seen with him, like beating up the B.R.A.D.S with golf clubs and shoving them into frozen tundra and stuff like that. It's just funny to be like, he's completely destroying stuff outside, and then he lightly taps his phone and he's like, hey. So it's a really fun aspect to see. I always love that in a bad guy character.
Yeah, but it's like Paul had said, you know, we did want other characters to be able to step up with the campers and give Darius a bit of a break, but also, you know, we didn't want Darius to feel like he was safe. And with someone like Cash, who you know, depending on his mood or what happened a moment ago, you really don't know how safe Darius is. And we, you know, just in this season, through the writing, we really wanted to put everybody on even more uncertain footing than they had been in the past.
Right.
So there was a lot of speculation, you know, online about the B.R.A.D.S and, you know, the show going more sci-fi. That was the big thing that I was reading. I will say it's like, this is a show about dinosaurs, like genetically engineered dinosaurs. Yeah. I mean, like, there is a bit of a suspension of disbelief. But with, you know, all of like the B.R.A.D.S and everything like that, like, honestly, like I harkened back to like the book where I think it's Arnold is talking about how he would like they want to try and have the park with like fully automate the park as much as they can, like have as few humans, like people there. And so like when the idea with the B.R.A.D.S, I'm like, okay, so they do the cleanup, they feed the animals, they administer shots, they fix them, you know, when they're hurt and everything. I thought it was really, really cool. Is that something, you know, going into like the writer's room and everything like that, like were the B.R.A.D.S and everything, was that something that you guys wanted to do? Or was that something that, you know, maybe what came down from above that, hey, we need to have these, you know, robotic type of things now?
Oh, no, nothing like from above. Like we came up with that. And I'll be honest with you, I struggled with it. Are we going to sci-fi? And there was like a version early days where, like, I don't know, like someone had pitched, like the B.R.A.D.S sent out like a sonic wave, or I don't know. It's something that felt like too far. And, you know, I had conversations with Colin about it, and we were like, okay, on one side, it isn't what we've seen before, which is also really cool. And we can also do stuff because this is a cartoon show, and it obviously it is for the fans, but it's also for kids. So luckily, like as we were making our way through it, and I'm wondering, have we gone, is this too far? And then Boston Dynamics puts out a video of like what their new creation is doing. And it's like, oh, you know what? This really isn't that crazy, considering everything that's going on. And we definitely took inspiration from that. So yeah, it was definitely something that I may have lost some sleep over, how it was going to be received. But in the end, we did want to shake it up. We didn't want to just keep running from dinosaurs. We wanted to add new threats and new mysteries and really kind of take things in a slightly new direction.
Yeah, and I mean, and honestly, we do need new threats because I mean, like the amount of dinosaurs have significantly decreased from an island full of dinosaurs to now like there's dinosaurs like in specific biomes and everything like that. So like we do need more of a threat. And I definitely think the B.R.A.D.s, especially being able to like pew pew laser gun people is like that's like a that was good. Did feel bad for the compy though. Like that was a bit I was like, oh, poor little guy.
Yeah, poor thing survives a Mosasaurus attack and then unceremoniously yeah. And again, we don't take that like we don't take that lightly. You know what I mean? Like whether it's a human character or a dinosaur character, when there is a loss of life on the show, it's something that a lot of thought goes into, and we just felt like we really needed to establish that these things are lethal. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, the compy bore the brunt of that.
Yeah,
and I really appreciate. And this is mainly to you, Scott. I really appreciate the development of I'm gonna like maturity through each season, because I noticed that in season 1 it was really mild. We were starting to build, and then once we got to season 3, it was like you really started to like feel like you were in Jurassic World. Like you could feel like the tension and the suspense, but it was still on a level that, kids were able to watch it. And I feel like it evolves even more in season 4, because now we don't really know what to expect. And it's just, I really don't have words. It's just so, I'm getting nostalgic.
Well, thank you. And again, I wish I could take all the credit, but it's just there's so many people on this show, starting with our writers, and then and down or up the chain, how you look at the artists and effects and lighting and animation and everything, who just elevates this show. And also it's the heart that you and then the rest of the cast bring to it. When I started this show, I said, if you can do dinosaurs for a 90-minute movie, not saying that's what they've done, but I'm saying when we're telling this story over multiple seasons and multiple episodes, if you're not hooked in and rooting for these kids, then you don't have anything. So right. At the beginning and the end of everything, it all comes down to the campers and the great job that Paul and the rest of our cast have done.
Thank you.
Definitely. With this new island, can you kind of tell us a little bit, like kind of expand on what Mantah Corp is doing on this island? So it definitely feels like we're basically having like a little dinosaur fight club, and we're genetically engineering these dinosaurs in order to be the strongest and like fight. So that's why we're like splicing these dinosaurs, making these hybrids. We're using the mind control in order to kind of control these animals to make them do what we want them to do. Can you kind of expand on, the role of like Mantah Corp and the new island this season?
Well, I mean, as this is sort of the genie is out of the bottle, and we just, going back to the beginning, it's not just InGen and Biosyn and Masrani, it's out there. This genetic power is out there. And as we've seen in the films, not everybody is out for good. So if you have, people who are just out to make a buck and see, for lack of a better word, entrepreneurs who don't, in stark contrast to, let's say, Darius. Like Darius would know you don't put a Spinosaurus in the desert, but here or a Kentrosaurus in the Arctic. But here are people who don't care about that. It's it's like Ian Malcolm, just because you can do it, should you do it? So it's really just folks who have this technology and are just trying to figure out how they can cash in on it in the biggest way possible. At least that's what it looks like on the surface.
Definitely. Kind of speaking of like this new island with all these new foes, we also get to go back to the mainland for a bit, where Darius is able to get Cash's phone and makes a quick little call to his bro. So, Paul, like, how are you excited that we're gonna get, hopefully some Darius's brother in here coming soon? Hopefully.
Oh man, you have no freaking idea how excited I am to see where that goes. Because the little teaser that we got in this season is most certainly not enough. And I know that Scott and the writer's room, they did this on purpose to purposely make us be mad that they didn't add more. So
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're here to make you mad. And, I'm glad to see that we got it done. So.
Yeah, but that also makes you all extremely good writers, because that's what writers aim for, is to make an extremely good story where the people are so excited that they don't want to wait to see what happens next. So kudos to you on that. But yeah, I definitely think that this is it's definitely a new thing developing here, because you're going to have all of this stuff happening in the background that you don't really get to see initially. And all of this time we're really focused on the campers. So I'm really excited to see like people's people's reactions to anything else that pops up later.
Yeah, I mean, the two big reveals that we get that, Darius's brother, knows he's alive. So that's a really good one. And then we've got Kenji's dad is the head honcho of Mantah Corp. That was like, I was like, kind of like suspected in the back, because it's like, I mean, there's a reason that Kenji's on the island, it's like his dad's big, rich and everything like that. But like that reveal, that's a good reveal. And I personally think the best cliffhanger that we've gotten through the series so far, like the most real cliffhanger, because it's like dad and then boom, and you're like, oh, okay, well, now we have to watch season 5, because what the heck, this is going to be a fun family reunion.
Yeah, I am excited. We've known for a while that we were leading towards Kenji's dad in some respects, and in some iterations we were going to reveal him sooner, and then the way that things just sort of laid out, this felt like the right time to bring him in. But yeah, there's a lot of questions. Like, if you notice, he was pretty surprised to see Kenji too. So it is going to be interesting to see, like you said, how this family reunion exactly is going to play out.
Yeah,
you can just tell that they have an amazing relationship.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great. So we did have some questions from Twitter. This one's from Bootleg Jolly Jingles. Fantastic name.
I like it.
So this one's like, in season 1, episode 2, we saw a cart of extracted saber-tooth / mammoth remains in Dr. Wu's lab. Do you think this is a way of foreshadowing the saber-tooth tiger's future appearance in season 4, or was that just like a random kind of like throwaway thing where it just happened to be there?
There's a lot of things that we put in especially in season 1, where we were seeding things from, seeding in E750 on Wu's computer. Like, did we know exactly what we were doing at that moment? No. I mean, we had a general idea, but the name Scorpius Rex had never occurred to us. So I've always been a big fan of the saber-toothed cats. So the answer, I guess, is we didn't necessarily know we were going to do it, but when we seed in stuff like that, especially in that first season, we did want to definitely leave open the possibility that we could tie back into it.
Because it's interesting, because I mean, like, even if we go back to the first Jurassic Park movie, like, there is the little saber-tooth, little plush animal that's in the gift shop. So it is nice to, like, that we can see, like, the saber-tooth, like, he made it. Like, he's been around since 93, but they made it, you know?
Yeah.
And then gets, you know, eaten by the Spino, but it was there for a bit.
Yes. And he or she did herself proud. Yes.
just quick shout out to the Spinosaurus for its incredible acting in this season, because oh my goodness, I love it. And shout out to the animators who animated it all. Quick side note, Scott.
Yeah.
Since season 3 already premiered, can we tell the fans what its original name was?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Because I think I remember, if I remember correctly, there were 2 dinosaurs that we had nicknamed differently, and I think it was Toro and the Scorpius Rex had a different name before.
Wow. Well, Toro did have a different name, but for copyright reasons, we weren't allowed to use. Toro ended up working really well.
Shrekasaurus, you kind of got to be careful with that. You know, if you're gonna call him Shrek, or you know, you got to be careful.
Turned out, yes, Mickey Mouseosaurus did not clear. Garfield also did not clear. But I don't actually remember. So I think we can go ahead and say it, and then we can always cut it out.
Exactly. Movie magic.
Yeah. Go ahead. Do you remember?
I remember. I remember it was something really technical.
I think originally we'd also played with the idea like Neoscorpius might have been a name that we had kicked around. You know, there's so many of these things that we just workshop and kick around in the writer's room, and sometimes it just comes down to which one Colin Frank Marshall liked the best. Yeah. So I'm that's the only name that comes to mind. I'm sure we had a bunch of other thoughts too.
I mean, if you guys decide to create more dinosaurs in the future, Steven is a really good name. I think that would be a fun name for a dinosaur.
Nice.
Just be like, oh no, it's Steven. Like, I think, like, that just strikes fear.
I will say, in early days when we realized we did have to rename the Toro character, at one point I wanted to have Kenji name it Mrs. Stahlheber after one of my junior high math teachers. And I thought it would be funny that Kenji named this horrible dinosaur after his math teacher, but I don't think Mattel thought Mrs. Stahlheber would look good on a Carnotaurus box. So and then for a time, Toro was going to be Happy, which then got shortened and became Hap, because, you know, just being selfish and nepotism, you know, I did name Roxy, the camp counselor, after my daughter, Roxy, then my son, Hap. Well, I had to get him in there. So I thought, well, maybe Happy. And then again, Happy the Carnotaurus doesn't really work. So then Hap made his debut in season 2.
We did have a lot of questions, like too many, really. A lot of people wondering, are Dave and Roxy going to come back? Because it's been a bit since we've even heard about Dave and Roxy.
Yeah, you wonder, right? Wonder what they've been, especially, you know, the last time we saw him, Roxy was like trying to throttle that guy on the boat in episode 8. So, yeah, you know, they don't strike me as the type to give up. So I wonder. Yeah.
Maybe they run into Roland Tembo. That would be pretty dope too.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. That could be its own spin-off series, actually.
Just have Roland dropped in and be like, go hunt.
Yeah. I'm gonna write that down under Steve the dinosaur. Yeah,
there you go. Maybe he hunts Steven. Maybe that's what the whole series is about. It's just about Roland hunting Steven.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I will say, so the last time I was at DreamWorks, it was before pandemic and everything.
Right.
So there wasn't any Jurassic Camp Cretaceous merch. Is there merch in the store? So if I was to go to DreamWorks, is there merch in the little DreamWorks store now? Because I want one of those red camp counselor shirts, the red shirts with the black. I'm like, it's very clean. It's just red with just the black. I'm like, it'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
I'd be honest with you. I've only been at DreamWorks a couple times in the last couple of years, and I don't even know if the store is open.
Because very sad.
We're still, we're still working from home. But I always thought that the red can. I've seen online, on Instagram, there's been some pretty fun Dave and Roxy cosplay with the red shirts. In the bandana. So yeah, I don't know if that's out there, but if you find it, let me know, because I'd like one too.
What's cool is I remember doing an interview with Neems, who is Jurassic World, and he was actually wearing a shirt that was under the Jurassic World merchandise on Amazon. And it had Darius's face on it. I don't know if it's copyright approved or anything like that, but it's definitely there. I've seen shirts and stuff of the campers and stuff like that. So I definitely think there is some merchandise.
Hold on, was this a call out? Or are you mad because I didn't wear a shirt that had your face on it, your character's face?
Just pinned me. You, Josh.
Apparently, I should have gone to Target and got myself.
I'm wearing a Camp Cretaceous shirt.
That's why I'm like, I don't have any Jurassic shirts. That's why I'm like,
and I am calling you out.
I can have a red one.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, because it's one of those of all the Jurassic Jurassic Park thing, Jurassic shirts that I would want, the red camp counselor shirt, or one of those dope pink polos from the first movie.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that'd be so dope. Just the pink polo with the little Jurassic logo.
Yeah,
nice.
That's why when Kenji made his debut into the series on the helicopter, had the pink polo with the pop collar.
Yeah, it was nice.
Had everything about him.
So we are kind of unfortunately running a little short on time, so we got just a few little bits. But I do want to ask, what do you guys hope? Well, let's start with Paul first. So, what are you hoping for with Darius and the campers going forward? What do you want to see from them?
Man, there were already so many different aspects in the first 3 seasons, but what I really want, I'm really eager to see in this season and the coming seasons is I want to see some of the campers that have kind of been laying low. I want to see them step into the spotlight a little bit. I want to see them take the reins of the situation, like how we've seen with Brooklyn this season in taking her lead, with the B.R.A.D.s and even Ben starting to step back into his leadership role, even though he has no idea what he's doing on this island. So I'm just really excited to like I said before, see it from all different angles and see these alternates, I guess you could say.
What about you, Scott? What are you excited for the fans to take away from season 4?
Yeah, well, like I alluded to before, this show begins and ends with our characters, and so seeing how everyone's evolved, seeing relationships, or you put kids on an island for away from parents for 6-7 months, feelings or how they're all kind of processing this really traumatic experience, one after another. Coster did such a wonderful job with Yaz dealing, really with a PTSD and thought our writers did a great job, and just like you had mentioned, the animators, and Dan Godinez and our amazing animation team over at CGCG, as well as here at DreamWorks, is just the little things of like Yaz hitting her leg, or just the expressions. I'm excited for people to see how the characters are evolving and changing, and how that's going to continue to affect them as individuals, as well as the camp family that we've come to know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll say Yaz's story this season, I think was probably the best bit. Like it was really good. Like getting to see, I mean, she's been a BA like the entire series.
Absolutely.
And then having her like kind of like, I don't want to say like being humbled, but like being like reflecting more and being like, oh, wait a sec, this is a bit much. Like we are just kids, and we've been fighting for our lives for the last 7 months nonstop, and it kind of like weighing down on her. I thought that was really good. Like I thought it was a really good piece of storytelling, and so kudos there, because I thought that was like perfect.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you feel it. I feel this exact same way, and all credit goes to our amazing writers who put a lot of thought and time and heart into crafting these storylines. And like you had said before, yes, this is a world where dinosaurs and robots and drones and control chips and all this stuff, but we're trying to keep these characters as grounded as possible and try to make them so, any kid who's watching this thing can see a little bit of themselves in probably any number of these characters, and just how it might feel to be in their shoes.
Yeah. And Josh, I especially love that you touched on Yasmina and her stress that she's going through right now, because it's something that I've rarely seen in a lot of shows that I'm really proud to be a part of, is letting people know that children go through, traumatic experiences too. And sometimes it's hard to talk about them. And on a level of being away from your parents for 6 to 7 months, it really shines a new light on what a lot of children are going through, that a lot of even their parents sometimes don't realize. So I'm really happy to see that.
Yeah,
and thank you for bringing it up.
Oh,
too.
I mean, definitely. I mean, that like to me was like the hardest hit. Like when she was talking about how her and her mom would, kind of curl up and watch movies and everything together. I was like, oh man, like it was just like breaking my heart. I was like, this is just too good. Like I would expect this in like, of like not like a children's animated series. Like I was expecting, more dinosaurs and everything. We're gonna run around, people are gonna find feelings and everything. I was kind of expecting that, but I was not expecting like a PTSD storyline. And like the fact that you guys put that in there, I was like, that's some Emmy worthy type stuff. So maybe you guys can, I'm hoping, you got 3 seasons. So for this year, I'm hoping you can add another one. Cause I mean, just on that episode, like that's the episode I would submit. If it was me, that's the episode I would submit. Right. Like what was it? Episode 7 or 8? Like I'd submit that one for consideration. Be like, the writing for this, like this one right here. This is the one I go for.
That's the one. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we'll mark it up right now.
If you guys win, at least just take a picture of it and then send it to me. So like I can be like, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
We'll be like, thank you to Josh Kane for submitting this idea.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
You're the literal reason we got this today. Thank you.
It's all me. Like I'll take all the credit. Thanks everybody. I'm sorry I couldn't be at the ceremony, but Paul, what do you want to see going forward for Camp Cretaceous? Like where do you want to see the series end?
Man, I'm a writer too, so I've probably come up with like 37 different endings for the show already.
Paul usually shows up and records, and having read the script, and especially in early days, he was always going like quizzing me, like, is this going to happen? Or you said it is going to happen? What about this? And sometimes he was right, but sometimes not right. So have a few surprises.
But I gave Scott ideas.
Yeah,
you go.
It really comes down to you two. Have really kind of made this thing what it is.
We try.
Yeah. I definitely like to see. I definitely want to see the campers get back home, of course, because one thing that I've kind of relayed back and forth between the cinematic history of this franchise and Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous is the one thing that always pops up in my mind is seeing Claire's nephews, get home and say hi to their family, because they've been gone for they haven't even been gone for that long. It's only been like what?
It's been like 3 days.
Yeah. And considering like not seeing your children for 6 and 7 months and not knowing where they are and knowing that they're like thousands of miles away on a remote island that nobody can get to. It's heartbreaking. And I'd love to see like I'd love to see the parents of each of these characters, because there are so many like there are so many things that we have yet to see, and just even seeing like the traits that they inherited from their parents and stuff like that, seeing the relationships and seeing them reunite is just something that masterpiece.
I'm gonna write that down too.
Like personally, I'd like to see them all get eaten. I think that would be fun. Like, here's the thing: if you definitely win an Emmy, you have 6 kids get eaten on screen.
All right.
That's how you do it.
Okay.
Like,
man, I wish I would have talked to you some time ago.
Not
saying
Mosasaurus times 6.
That's not saying that's not what's going to happen. But when we started this thing, honestly, I had in my mind what I thought should be the last shot of the series. Is
it Ben laying down on some grass with Bumpy coming over next to him, and he's just like staring up at the camera, kind of the way that the first episode, like the last episode of Lost ends? Because like that would be a fun.
Okay, man.
That'd be a fun thing.
We have to cut all this out.
As the lava's coming in from New Planet.
Now we have to cut this out because now you spoiled the ending of the series.
Sorry guys. Josh, cut that.
Yeah.
Just a silhouette of Ben just looking at Bumpy and giving that little smirk that everybody gives at the ending of a movie, and like looking back into the sunset and patting Bumpy on the shoulder.
He turns off the lights of the bar they've opened together and they walk out on the street. And, we did it. Credits roll.
Turns around and Darius is like, man, like, no, it's Brooklyn, because I don't think we've heard Brooklyn's last name. It's Brooklyn Skywalker, and like that's just like cut there. Like that's
so good. I love that.
We're gonna do it.
I don't know. Actually, maybe Brooklyn DreamWorks. Maybe that one's a little bit better, because I don't know. Skywalker maybe a little bit. You want to stay away from that. But
all right. But I still, as a placeholder, I think that really works well. Brooklyn DreamWorks. It kind of rolls off the tongue.
Can we make that some concept art real quick?
I can't draw, but I know a lot of people who can draw really well. So
Thank you.
What we can come up with.
Oh man, thank you both coming on. I mean, we could go on for another like 3 hours just worth of stuff, because it'd be like there's so much stuff. There's so many things that we weren't able to do. But I mean, thank you both so much for coming on. Paul, where can people find you if they want to keep up with you social media wise?
So my Instagram is at PMikey3, PMikey, then the number 3. Facebook, it is just my name, Paul-Mikel, and Twitter is also my name. Twitter means nothing to me at the moment. I post nothing on there because I'm not political. So, but and don't forget about the High Priest of Funk over here.
Don't. You just don't. You're not gonna want to follow me. You're just gonna be disappointed. I really only have Facebook and Instagram, and it's just so I can share pictures of my kids or put something up that the show is going to be on. So follow P Mikey 3. You're going to be much happier. I'm just going to bore you to death. So just watch the show instead of following me anywhere.
The name alone is entertaining, Scott.
It is. It's really good.
It's just an old inside
What's the
joke.
backstory behind it? Where can I become an usher of funk? You know?
Yeah. Well,
are there deacons of funk? Like, is there a hierarchy?
There's a hierarchy.
Okay.
There's a hierarchy. I can't get too much into it now. Again, that non-disclosure agreement that it's really all encompassing.
The funks are like the Masons. Like, there's like secret handshakes. So. You got to be careful.
Exactly right.
We'll go ahead and put everybody's, handles in the show notes. So if you want to find anybody, you can go there. We'll also put a link to season 4 of Camp Cretaceous in the link, so you can definitely check that out. If for whatever reason you're listening to this and you've not watched it yet, sorry. But yeah, it's all spoiled for you. So yeah, we'll put that in there. Thanks again to DreamWorks for helping us out and letting us watch early and setting up this interview. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at What's Up Fandom, on Twitter at What's Up Fandom PC for podcast. All of our episodes available: iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you can download an episode. Our video content is available on YouTube, so you can check it out there. So if you're listening to this episode and then want to watch this episode, go to YouTube. We'll take double downloads. I mean, I'm not going to complain.
Photoshop this first for me, because half of my face is like.
I mean, I'm gonna have, like, we have our YouTube editor Josh. I'm gonna have him put a Darius shirt on me. So I should have worn green. It would have been a way easy for him to key that in. But
all right, well, since I'm wearing a green shirt, if he wants to just put a
there you go, Darius
right there, that'd be cool.
But again, thank you both so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. It's really fun. Definitely check out season 4 of Camp Cretaceous. And watch all of them, all 3 of them, 4 of them. There's 4 now. Yeah, watch them all.
And go watch them again.
Go watch. Yeah, why not?
Just let it run in the background.
And read the books too.
Definitely read the books, guys.
Get outside though. Also take a break. Get outside.
If your favorite character from the show, like from the movies, was Robert Muldoon, just read the book. He doesn't die. Spoilers for a book that came out like almost 30 years ago. It's like, he doesn't die. It's okay. He lives.
Exactly. Well, it's like when I got to put in the thing about John Hammond from the
I
book.
love that, by the way. That was beautiful.
I take credit for very little on this show because our writers are so amazing. That one I'll take credit for because I just thought that would be cool. And I was such a fan of the book. And the fact that I get to do this is just still crazy to me.
Yeah, like at work, I'm listening to it on audiobook because I mean, it's fun. Plus the narrators. A+.
I love the narration. I love it.
Oh, he's so good. And so like I'm listening and like I've been playing a game. So like, because I know Lex says I'm hungry a lot throughout the series, like that book. So on my whiteboard, I've got tally marks of like every time she says I'm hungry. We're up to 4 so far, and I've still got like 8 hours left of the book. I'm like, I know she says it at least 3 or 4 more times. So it's gonna be fun. I'll finally have like the tally at the end of like how many times Lex says I'm hungry. So that'll be fun.
That let us know where you come out on that.
Oh yeah, I think last time I counted, I think it was 7. So I'm going to be interested to see, but it's been a while since I read it. So listening to it again, I'm gonna.
Your board's going to be like a prison cell by the end of the book.
Oh, it's going to be bad. It's going to be hilarious to be like, yeah, she is hungry, isn't she? She would be hungry.
Hey, thank you, Josh. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, no problem.
For being a supporter of the show, and it's great to be here. Catch up.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much, guys. And so for What's Up Fandom, I'm Josh.
Oh, I'm
Paul-Mikel.
And we just talked. We just hammered. Hammered that. I should have let the talent go.
Don't edit that out.
No. We're not gonna edit any of it. Like we're keeping it.
Totally on me. Oh, just say your name clearly so people hear you.
Okay.
So for What's Up Fandom, I'm Josh.
Okay, now that one's not on me.
That one's me. That one's
That
me.
was you.
I'll take that one.
Yeah,
All right. Okay.
That's on you. All right.
Here we go.
All right. Everyone centered themselves.
Yeah. So for What's Up Fandom, I'm Josh.
To all the fans, I'm Paul-Mikel.
And I'm Scott.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm not the leading authority on waxing poetic or using big words, but this writer is my philosophy about living in such a world.